Back in Laval as the Crunch gets set for the Laval Rocket. It is the second game of this 5-game road trip for the Crunch. Second of 6 matches overall this season against the Rocket. On Countdown to Crunch Time presented by Supercuts, I'm Lucas Favali with Crunch head coach Ben Grew. Ben, the Crunch are coming off of the first game of this road trip Wednesday in Toronto, a pretty lopsided score result, an 8-1 win over Toronto. What did you see Wednesday night in Toronto?
Well, you know what, it's was not expected. Obviously, when you go in Toronto and you play such a good team, you don't expect to beat them by that margin, but I don't think their goalie was as sharp as they need their goalie to be, and for us, we took advantage of it. But that being said, don't want to take any credits off our team. Thought we were skating well, moved the puck well, and obviously we're still playing with confidence, which is good to see.
And we've talked so much about how good this Crunch power play has been, and there was one power play goal for the Crunch, but pretty much, I mean, the rest of it, 7 goals, all at even strength. So that's a good indication of where this team is at the moment. What did you see in terms of the even strength 5-on-5 play for the Crunch?
Well, I like our chemistry on the ice. Like, I think guys they feel each other, and when I look at BB and Carter Verhage, I think they've been great together. When Connie's line with Andy, whoever they're playing with, it's a good line. So for me, it's important to see that guys like to play with their line mates. They feel each other, and they work for one another. So it's good to see, and it's especially at this period of the year when the team is playing a lot. The schedule is loaded with games, and so it's good to see that we feel good about ourselves on the ice.
And you mentioned those 2 lines, Alex Barré-Bellé and Carter Verhage, the one line and whoever's with them, and then same thing with Conacher and Andrioff. I mean, those are 2 of the top scoring lines in the league, I'd have to imagine, the way they've been playing here of late. How important is it to have those 2 lines going, and they've been going for a pretty extended period here the last couple of weeks?
It's great to see that, and you know what, I'd like to add to that. Like, our third line was great. Like, Ross Colton had probably his best showing of the year. Like, he was physical, he was involved, made some good plays, as well as Denis Yan. So it was good to see that as well.
Yeah, it's been a 4-line team for the most part this year, but you look at those top 2 lines, and then the 4th line, Otto Sampi made his regular season debut. He had his first AHL goal out there with Troy Burke and stuff. So what did you see from that line as well for the Crunch?
It went well. I think Otto had a good first game in career. He's going to have to play with more grit, more pace to his game, but overall, I thought it was a good showing for him.
Yeah, and Troy Burke got back in there, and he remains in the Crunch lineup as well, and had an assist on that goal. And in terms of him playing his first game with the team in a month plus, you know, what did you see from him in his first game back?
I was very happy. Very happy with Berkey. He brought energy, speed, and I know he can bring a lot offensively, so a lot of momentum offensively, so it was good to see him back and play that way.
Crunch are getting set for the Laval Rocket. It's the second matchup of the season between these 2 teams, first of back-to-back games against the Rocket. Good news in terms of the injury department is the return of Gabriel Dumont, who is back in the lineup after missing a couple weeks with another injury. What do you hope to see from him as he works his way back in the lineup tonight?
Well, you know what, it's good to see him back, because it's been tough. It's been tough when you're missing your captain and the 3 assistant captain since almost day 1. And Dumi's been in and out, but he played 8 games, I believe, 9 games, and he's such a good contributor. He's such a competitor for us. He's one of our leader, and it's phenomenal to see him back, and hopefully it's for good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing him back in the Crunch lineup tonight. Getting back to those that dangerous couple of lines there with Conacher and Andrioff and Barré-Bellé and Verhage, you kind of, like we were saying, been mixing whoever is on that line. What are you looking for in terms of that third guy on both lines? I mean, no matter who's out there, the line seems to continue.
It depends against who we play. If we're at home or on the road, the matchup we control more at home than on the road, and sometimes you want to make, depending on the depth you're facing and the speed and the structure they use and all that. So for us, that's count a lot in our decision process, and so we try to evaluate also the performance of our guys. Like, sometimes when you feel that this guy can fit here and there, you want to do it, and sometimes you experiment. So there's a lot of things involved in that process, and that's why it's moving a lot. But we like those two duo, like Connie and Andy and Carter and BB.
Yeah, can you almost use it as a way to put someone in there to maybe get them going as well because they've been working, or is that not the way you're looking at it?
Not really, because you have something that's working and you want to make sure that it's working. Like I'm not gonna put a guy there to you know what, let's give him a chance. It's more about let's have someone that can complement them and make sure that this line's still rolling.
You mentioned Ross Colton earlier as well. He had a goal on Wednesday night, and he's been looking for that production as well. And you saw the physical play. What have you seen from him here in his rookie year as he continues to develop?
He's playing with more confidence. Since day one, and you know what? I gotta credit our group of leaders for that, because this group of guys here, they're a good group of people, good group of hockey players. But you know what? They're also involved with our young guys to teach them how to do certain things, how to react to the coach's demand. And I know that Bourneval and Conacher spent a lot of time with Russ to explain him and to reinforce certain things that we want from him, to give him the confidence to play a certain way. And I think it's paying off, and I credit those two guys and Russ for that result, and hopefully it's only the beginning of something that's going to be great for him.
Crunch are getting set for the Laval Rocket here at Place Bell. It is the second matchup of the season, first of back-to-back games. We're on Countdown to Crunch Time, presented by Supercuts with head coach Ben Grew. It is, as we said, the second matchup of the year. Crunch won the first one 6-4. There were 4 power play goals in the game for the Crunch, but this is a Rocket team that has added 3 really good veteran defensemen here just over the last couple of weeks. They were a pretty solid defensive team all year. What do you expect to see from them tonight?
Well, that's the league we're in. Like it comes and goes, and when those guys are coming from the NHL, your team's going this way. So they've been winning since they're here. They're at home for 13 of their next 16 games. So it's an opportunity for them. We know we're going to have our hands full. It's a good team. Like, no one would have thought that Laval would have been last place. And like I told the coaches the other day, I said, guys, don't be too overexcited, because in January everything's going to be close together. So it's a good team. It's a good challenge for us, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, looking forward to it tonight. And one last thing. I mean, we've talked a lot about, this team the Crunch have had an ability to play one day at a time, and coming off an 8-goal win, obviously that builds the confidence. But I don't get the sense that this team is going to be overconfident or take any team for granted, despite an 8-goal performance the other night.
Yeah, that's what we hope for. Like we want them to come here and take one day at a time, and so far we've been pretty good at doing it. And hopefully it keeps going tonight.
All right, looking forward to it as the Crunch take on the Laval Rocket. This is Crunch head coach Ben Grew. Ben, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, Lucas.